Hello and welcome back to Betting School from the Form Guide. This is Course 11, Responsible Gambling, and it is the last course in the school, which is exactly why we saved it. This is not the legal footnote read quickly at the end. It is the capstone the other 10 were building towards, and it is the one we most wanted to get right. Here is the roadmap. First, why every number in this series, the margin, the variance, staking maths, has been quietly pointing at one skill all along: control. Then the honest frame, betting as entertainment with a price tag, and what the arithmetic says about who actually wins. Then the warning signs said plainly and kindly. Then the tools that genuinely work: limits, timeouts, self-exclusion, including the one free registration that covers every licensed site in the UK at once, then how to talk about it, and where the free, judgment-free help lives. And finally, the whole school in one look. 11 courses, one line each. This one matters most. Let's do it properly. Let's start with why this is the finale and not the small print. Course 2 showed you the overround. The margin means the average punter pays to play on every market forever. Course 10 showed you variance and swings large enough to dress a losing habit as a hot streak for months at a time. And courses 3 and 8 kept landing on the same word: discipline. Follow that thread far enough and it ends here. Every genuinely good bettor we have ever studied shares one trait before any model or method. They decide in advance what betting is allowed to cost them, in money and in time, and they hold that line. The strongest skill in betting is not picking horses, it is control. This course is the whole school's point. Now, the frame that makes everything else in this course easy, what betting actually is. Not what the adverts imply and not what one winning Saturday whispers in your ear. What the arithmetic from course 2 says it is for almost everyone over any honest stretch of time. Entertainment with a price tag. Let's say that properly, because it turns out to be genuinely freeing. Here is the honest sum, and with no varnish on it. The margin sits inside every price. So across all punters, the money flows one way. The share of bettors who finish a year in front is small. The share who stay in front over many years is smaller still. Those are simply the odds of the game, and pretending otherwise is where trouble starts. But flip the frame and everything relaxes. Nobody asks whether the cinema is profitable. You pay for 2 hours of story and call it money well spent. Betting, honestly framed, is the same purchase. A few pounds for an afternoon of genuine interest in the racing. Budget it like tickets, spend it like tickets, and the margin simply becomes the price of admission. Let's put betting on the shelf where it belongs, at the entertainment shelf, and price the shelf. A cinema trip for 2 with the snacks that cost more than the film, call it £30. The streaming stack quietly leaving the account each month, 25. A ticket at the football, 40 before the pie. And there, sitting among them, a month's betting pot, £30. The gold bar, same shelf, same rules. Every item on this list shares 2 properties. The money is spent for fun, and when it's gone, it's gone. Nobody chases the cinema to win the ticket price back. The moment betting leaves this list and starts to look like income, or worse, like rent, that is the moment this course exists for. Next, the chapter we most wanted to get right. The warning signs, not to frighten anyone, but because trouble with gambling almost never announces itself. It creeps quietly, one small habit at a time. So here are the signs, said the way a good friend would say them, plainly, kindly, and with no judgment anywhere in the room. 5 signs worth knowing by heart. Chasing losses, betting again, and bigger to win back what today took. Which course 10 showed you only ever deepens the hole. Hiding bets, closing the app when someone walks in, editing the truth about where the afternoon went. Betting money that already has a job, the rent, the bills, the food shop. Betting to feel better when the stake is medicine for a bad day rather than fun on a good one. And borrowing to bet, any credit, any loan, any friend's 20. None of these means a person is broken. Each one is a doorbell ringing early, asking them to check who's at the door. And here is the part a list of signs cannot show you: how it arrives. Nobody wakes up one Tuesday in trouble. It creeps. A deposit limit nudged up after a bad week, a bet placed from boredom rather than interest, a win that mostly brought relief instead of joy. Relief is the tell. Fun feels light, need feels heavy. So keep one question within reach and answer it honestly, perhaps once a month. Is this still fun? Truly fun? Fun the way the cinema is fun? If yes, lovely, and carry on and enjoy the puzzle. If the answer hesitates, that hesitation is information, not a verdict, and the next 2 chapters are yours. Now, the practical chapter, the tools. And here is some genuinely good news. The machinery is strong, it is free, and every licensed operator is required by law to offer it. The trick is understanding what each tool does and setting it up on a good day, calmly and in advance, never in a hurry on a bad one. 4 tools in rising order of firmness. Deposit limits. You tell the site the most you can pay in per day, week or month, and it enforces the number your calm self chose. And raising it later comes with a built-in delay, which is precisely the point. Timeouts, a short breather from a day up to 6 weeks, whenever a break would help. Self-exclusion, the serious lot. The account closes and stays closed for a minimum period, no matter what anyone asks of it on a bad night. And above them all, GamStop, one free registration that self-excludes you from every gambling site and app licensed in the UK, all at once. Add your bank's gambling block, which stops the card itself, and the door has 2 locks. Let's line the locks up by how long each one holds the door. A timeout is the short one for the blue bar. Anything from a single day up to 6 weeks, one site at a time, a breather rather than a bolt. Self-exclusion is the gold bar, 6 months at minimum, often longer, and once it is set, the site must keep the door shut. No persuading, no offers, no early way back in, and then the green bar dwarfs them both. GamStop, which you can set for 6 months, 1 year, or 5 years. And that single registration covers every gambling site and app licensed in the UK simultaneously. It is free, it takes minutes, and it cannot be talked out of. That is not a weakness of the tool. That is the tool. Tools lock doors, talking opens them. And talking is the stronger of the two. One honest conversation beats 100 private promises, because promises made alone in the small hours have a way of dissolving by Saturday. So if any sign in this course felt close to home, here is the whole plan. Say it out loud once to one person, a partner, a mate, a parent, or if that feels too big, the professionals. BigGambleAware.org has everything in one place. The National Gambling Helpline 0808 802 0133 is free, open all day and all night, every day of the year, and completely confidential. Nobody there judges, nobody lectures. They have heard it all and they are kind. And a word for the other side of that conversation, because sometimes the signs you recognise belong to someone you love. Approach the person, never the behaviour. A quiet, how are you really? Opens more doors than any confrontation over money ever has. Pick a calm moment, not the raw aftermath of a loss. Expect to know the first time and let it be a no. The seed is still planted, and seeds do their work quietly. The same helpline and the same website support families and friends too. You can call about someone, not only as someone, and look after yourself along the way. You can hold a door open, you cannot walk through it for them. So where does the form guide sit in all of this? Right here, stated plainly. We make analysis for people who enjoy the puzzle, the form lines, the pace angles, the models numbers held up against the markets. 4 shows a day, and not one of them has ever needed a bet to be worth watching. The puzzle is the product, and it always was. If following along with a small budgeted stake adds to your fun, lovely. So that is the entertainment shelf working exactly as designed. And if the fun ever stops, stop, pause the betting and keep the shows there, or pause us too. Honestly, no show, ours included, is worth more than your piece. Which brings us to the final chapter of the final course. 11 courses ago, a price like 6 to 4 may have meant nothing to you at all. Look at you now. Before we close the school gates, let's walk the whole series one last time. A single line per course. And watch how every road in it led here. Course 1, how odds actually work. Every price is a probability wearing a costume. Learn to see through it. Course 2, the over round, the margin baked into every book and why the bookie starts ahead before a single race is run. Course 3, value betting. The only edge that exists is a price that is wrong and never a horse that is due. Course 4, closing line value, the professional scoreboard. Did you beat the closing price, not did you happen to win? Course 5, each way explained. 2 bets on 1 slip, and the place maths that decides whether the second one earns its keep. Course 6, reading a race card. The form book decoded from figures to going to weight. Course 7, why favourites lose. Short prices are not safe prices. A third of favourites winning is the market working, not failing. Course 8. Staking maths, the size of the bet matters more than the bet, and ruin is a maths problem long before it is a luck problem. Course 9, accumulators, multiplied odds mean multiplied margin. The fun tax, priced honestly. Course 10, variance and records. Keep a record or keep an illusion because luck wears methods clothes for months at a time. And course 11, today, the strongest skill in the whole game is control. Set the budget, use the tools, ask the monthly question, and say things out loud. Everything else in this school was arithmetic. This one was the point. And that closes course 11, and with it, the whole of betting school. 11 courses ago, a price was just a number on a screen. Now you can turn any price into a probability, strip out the margin, recognise value, keep score like a professional, read a race card, size the stake sensibly, price an accumulator's true cost, keep an honest record, and after today, you hold the one skill that outranks all of it, control. You know the signs, you know the tools, you know the question to ask and the number to call. There is no next course to trail, and that feels right. But the school stays open. Every course lives on the channel to re-watch whenever a topic goes fuzzy. And the daily shows, 7 in the morning, midday, 4 in the afternoon and 10 at night, are where all of this maths goes to work on the real races. You would be very welcome. Now, the closing words, the same ones the school opened with, said with love. Everything in betting school is education and opinion only and never financial advice and never an instruction to bet. Betting is for adults aged 18 and over, only ever with money and time you can comfortably spare. If it stops being fun, stop. And if stopping feels hard, that is begambleaware.org or the National Gambling Helpline on 0808 802 0133, free, confidential, any hour you need it. Thank you for studying with me all the way to the end. It has been a privilege. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next show.